Om Shanti. Can you all hear me? Am I audible? Okay, great. So, Om Shanti and good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the participants. Yet another refreshing online Sunday evening talk from Brahmakumari's Shanti Sarovar. I hope you all had a great day. So this is a weekly series of refreshing talks which focuses on the topics that matter to you. These topics are conducted by experienced Raj Yoga meditators with an aim for your personal development and improve yourself at work, home, and in your relationships. So today we will explore on the very interesting topic the very interesting topic, communicating with the heart. So communicating with the heart. So, what is communication? The heart of communication is not just in the exchange of words, but exchange of non-verbal feelings and vibrations. So, to listen, catch, and understand this non-verbal feelings requires a silent and non-judgmental mind. So, listening is an art of understanding the hidden intentions of the speaker. So, coming to our today's speaker to shed the light on this topic, today we have Brother Piyush with us from Dubai. So let me give you a brief introduction of Brother Piyush. So Brother Piyush is a learner and believes that everyday life teaches us something new. He is an ACCA qualified and is an entrepreneur by profession. He has been based in Dubai since childhood and has also expanded his business to different corners of the world. He learned and loved meditating since the age of 4, but started practicing the art of Raj Yoga meditation past 15 years now. He believes in imparting values through his teachings and facilitates for various programs for kids, young adults, and professionals in different fields. He strongly believes in protecting the environment and has been part of UN Climate Change Conference. And since 2012, by being actively associated with Brahma Kumari's Environment Initiative as a green member. Some of his workshops, which he facilitates on regular basis, are Enlightened Kids, Virtue Cafe for young adults, and Conference of Youth for Climate Change. So let's welcome Brother Piyush and listen to him on this topic, communicating with the heart. Oh, where is Piyush? I can see him. Piyush, are you there? Okay, I can see this this wonderful quote here. I can see this quote. Beside the tree, love is like the sun coming out of the clouds and warming your soul. Such a beautiful quote. Wow. But where is Piyush?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
And
Om
good afternoon,
Shanti.
good evening. Om Shanti. So I thought, let me give you the chance to read that quote because that quote is very close to my heart. And as it says again, I'll read it for you all. It says that besides the tree, love is like the sun coming out of the clouds and warming your soul. Now, today's topic, as already Sister beautifully explained, Sister Veena, that the communication is more of listening. So I'm glad that there are many listeners here today. But what I like to do is in my usually it's not a talk; it is more of a communication. So I would like you all to be participants as well, to use the chat box to unmute yourself if you have a chance and to speak up with me. And so for that, I've taken up this topic today, which is communicating with art. Not really art; it is with heart. And when we think of a heart, we normally have this emotion, which is that heart shape. But I think when you say communicating with heart, it is with communicating with with a pure right intention. That is what I'm trying to emphasize today. Now, when I'm saying this, why would I say communicating with the right intention? I mean, if anyone is communicating with us, They always communicate with the right intention. But do you know what? Most of us, when we are talking to someone, either we are thinking something in our background or we are not 100% there in the present. So at times, someone's talking to you and you are thinking in the background, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do that. This work is pending. This is something which I have to complete. So we are not really present at that moment. And what happens is we have exchange of emotions which might not be pleasant, which might be because we are not 100% present, both of us. So why is that? Well, let me tell you statistically, in 1 minute, you know how many thoughts we create? Well, it's about 7 to 10 thoughts per minute. But in 1 minute, do you know how many heartbeats you have? We have about 60 to 100 heartbeats. Now, do you know in 1 day how many heartbeats you have? The science says, the statistics says that you have 100,000 heartbeats. Now, why am I talking about heartbeats? Normally, people talk about thoughts. Well, I'm talking about heartbeats is because they say if you have higher heart rate, is because either you're anxious, either you're stressed, either you're having a fear, or you're overthinking. So normally, when you're anxious or stressed, you know your heartbeat will be fast, your pulse rate will be fast. So you will just check and you will feel that your heart rate is faster. And if this is the case, then your thoughts are also much higher. You're not doing the normal thinking, you're thinking beyond your capacity. And what is happening is then you feel lost out in the moment. You're not right there at present in the moment. You are either in the past or you're either in the future. Now, again, why is being in the moment very important? And how can I really have a better heartbeat or a better pulse rate or a better mindset? Well, one of the best ways is that when you are communicating, before you start communicating, you have to ask yourself that the way I communicate, am I being kind? Am I being compassionate? Am I being honest? And am I being truthful? Am I being kind? Am I being compassionate? Am I being honest? Am I being truthful? Now, when I say this, is because let's assume that you are talking to a small child. How would you talk to a small child? You have a small child in front of you. How would you talk? You wouldn't go and talk to a small child and say, you will have to change your tone. You will have to change the way you talk to the small child. You will try to be in a way which that the child can understand. You will be like a child to that child, because you will, however older you are, you will try to speak to them in that way, because you want your thoughts to be reaching them to them properly, and you want that whatever you have spoken should be clearly understood by that person. So you will try to be very kind, very caring, because you're speaking to a child. Now, in the same way, imagine if you're speaking to your colleague and you have to give a job to them. How would you speak? You would say, well, these are the instructions, these are the rules, this is what you have to do, and this is how it has to be done. Now, just if the way you spoke to the child, if you spoke the same way to your colleague, you know how much difference it will make in your relationship? It will not make a big difference in your relationship with that colleague. It will make the biggest difference in your relationship with yourself. So, the first point which I'm trying to say is communicating with heart means having the perfect relationship with myself. It's not about looking for creating the perfect relationships outside. It's the way I'm communicating. I am building a thread of communications with myself. Whenever I am speaking with kind and care and compassion with another individual, I am creating a very strong bond with me, because inside I am feeling the way how I'm communicating. My heartbeats are slower, my thoughts are more calmer, I am more stable. Now, if you want to see, I will show you a real demo of how communicating in a sometimes you don't really need communication. It's just how you feel. So I want to show you a live demo. How would I show you a live demo? Well, the best way to show you a demo is through showing you a video. So I would like to show a video to you. And I just want your attention for 1 minute, please, to focus on the video 100%. Right? Are you ready? Yeah? Good. I want you to see this video and just enjoy. You all can see the video, right? Just a second. I will. Is Veena or someone can just put in the chat box the video is all right, visible? Okay, I'm going to play the video and I'm going to be giving. Okay, I got a yes, thanks. Yeah. So, how many of you were there watching that video? You could all hear the voice, right? You could all hear what they were trying to speak. They were speaking very complicated language, right? Were you able to understand that language? Yeah. I could only understand goo, ga, gi, gi, goo, goo, ga, ga, gi. All that was I understood from that video. But what did we see from that video? What we really saw from that video was there are three innocent children who have no idea what they are speaking, what they are trying to communicate to each other. All they are doing is looking at each other in their eyes and having a beautiful smile. And what really exchanged was not a communication with the words, there was a communication which was with the vibes. There was a communication with the attitude. There was a communication with heart to heart. What you really saw was a heart to heart communication where in the end they just gave each other a hug, even though they didn't know what they're speaking. They were just doing goo goo gaga gigi. And I'm sure there's no language as goo goo gaga gigi which they were speaking. But that was the most beautiful communication we all saw. Did you all like it, first of all? Did you all like that communication style? You see, these are how the kids communicate. I mean, before they have learned the words, this is how they're communicating. Now, I have also been around with the pets. Now, if you see the pets when they communicate, they will not have any words. If you see two cats communicating, if you see two dogs communicating, they are more in silence. They are more just having a communication with their eyes, with their being with each other close, and the way they communicate is purely out of love. So, what are we trying to say and learn from here is that each one of us can communicate with each other is not through the words only. It is through the vibe and how you feel from inside, and you radiate that same aura to another person. And that is only possible if you have the right communication with you. I say you should have the first ways to have the right communication with you, to have the same communication with other person. The three children who you saw were all happy and positive from inside. That's why they could radiate and exchange that same. Otherwise, normally you would see the children crying, and they will be like, they'll be crying. So you would not see this exchange. But here were the three children who were very happy and loving from inside with each other, and then they could radiate that and connect with each other. Now that is called as communicating with first the self and then with the others. When I say communicating with the self, if you are not really happy from inside, and if you are really not feeling that loving for the self, or if you're not feeling content with yourself, you will never be able to communicate with the other person in the same way. You will always feel that you want to be. I would say you will not exchange that same laughter. This how those three kids were. I'm taking these three kids as an example because they don't have any agenda. They didn't have any communication. They didn't celebrate any moment. They were just there. They laughed and they hugged. So, but first, they are very happy with their own selves. Now, in our lives, we have gone through a lot of things, or we are still going through a lot of things. And when you go through a lot of things in your life, what happens is you stop communicating with yourself. We are good in communicating with others, but we have stopped communicating with yourself. When I say you stop communicating with yourself, is like you really sit down with yourself. And if you have this option, you sit down and not only write, but you sit down with the real you, sit with yourself in the front of a mirror and talk to yourself. So, for example, if I have to talk to myself, I'll sit with Piyush face to face and I'll say, how are you doing, Piyush? How do you feel today? What happened throughout the week? What is going good in your life? What do you think you can improve? What is not right? What is good? Just like how you're speaking to a friend. When you speak to a friend, the first question you'll ask is, how are you? Right? That's the first question you'll ask, or even to a family member or a relative, whoever you meet, you will ask the first question, hi, how are you? So, do you really sit with yourself and ask, hi, how are you? How do you feel? And really try to understand, how do you feel? But the thing is that we are so much occupied in trying to do so many things in life, or trying to just brush aside the main conversation with ourselves. We try to keep ourselves busy in doing many other things. We want to try to achieve a lot of goals and milestones, but we forget that in the process, am I having a heart to heart communication with myself? So as I said, this is more of a interaction session. So I want you to use the chat box with me and just type in when I ask you a question so that I know that you are understanding where I am going. So one of the first questions I want to really ask you is, do you take time out to have a conversation with yourself? Maybe once a week. Yeah, I need an honest answer, a yes or a no. Let's see. Can you all just use the chat box and just say, it's okay. We are not going to judge here anyone. No one is going to be judging you. I just want to know. So I get a one answer, two, very good, right? Still now only three answers. Come on, be free to chat. Okay, right. So as we are seeing, and as you all also can see, that I don't know why the reason. I don't want to go into the why reason, but I can see, and I also agree with you all that we don't really sit and have a communication with ourselves. So I was reading a beautiful story by there is a very famous Bengali saint. His name is Chaitanya, and he told about the concept of Sitto Daraparna Marjanam. Sitto Daraparna Marjanam. Now, what is this? I will speak about this in a minute. I want you all to now have a visualization experience with me. I want you to visualize what I'm trying to speak. So I would like your attention for a few minutes, just 3 minutes, whatever you're doing, if you can just stop, or I hope you're not driving at least. So if you all can just, if you have a chance to just close your eyes and sit with me and just listen to me. And I want you to visualize this. Now, I hope you are all ready. Now, I just want you to imagine here a beautiful, you're walking down a nice foot on a nice road. There's a lot of greenery around. And as you walk, you see a beautiful house, very beautiful house. It's covered by the lush green forest around it. There's a nice small river beside the house. And you're very curious to see this house. And as you go in, you see there's a nice fountain in the middle of the, just as you enter the house, you see there's a nice fountain and there are nice birds. And it looks like some very nice people stay here because it's got a very calming feeling. And as you enter the house now, you see it's a very beautiful, bright house. There's good sunlight. Each room is beautifully set up. It's got some nice ambience of decorations, nice furniture, very calming, cool house. It's nice breeze. white curtains. So as you're walking around the house, you say, wow, this is just a perfect house, the way I want my dream house to be. There's also a swing. You can see a nice dog sitting in the outside in the veranda. And you're just wondering, wow, who stays here? This is such a beautiful house. And you're exploring different rooms and you're just seeing each room is so beautifully decorated. And as I mentioned, all around the house, there is nature, there is river. And then you come across one room and here it says, the room for me. You read this name on the board of the room and you say, what? Room for me? What does this mean? So you open the room's door and you enter. This room is a bit darker. It's not too dark, but it's a little darker. And then you see, okay, it's more like a storeroom. There's a lot of chairs, there's a lot of cupboards, a few carpets down. And then as you walk around, you see a long, tall mirror. And you see, oh, there's a long, tall mirror. Wow. And then you see a chair beside it. So you just go and, first of all, try to move the chair from in front of the mirror and you stand there. As you're standing in front of the mirror, you see that you can't really see anything much. And then you see that there's so much of dust on the mirror that you can't actually see your own reflection. So you try to see, how do I clean this mirror? Well, because the whole house is clean, this mirror is so dusty. Why is it so dusty? So you want to clean it. And you try to find a cloth and you cannot. So what you do is you just use your own cloth, whatever you're wearing, and you just clean it with a piece of it. Either if you're wearing a shirt, you clean it with your hand, or if you're wearing a dupatta, whatever, you just clean the mirror. And then you see, at least now I can see my reflection. What a beautiful mirror this is. Such tall and elegant mirror. How can they leave it so dusty? And as you're just observing the mirror in silence, you see that still the mirror has got dust. You have only cleaned it from the middle. And you can only see your face now. But still, half of your body cannot be seen because the mirror is in dust. And as you see this mirror, you realize that, is this me actually in real life? Has my life become like this mirror? I have been covered with so much dust in my own mind and my heart that actually I have forgotten to see the real me. And you decide that I want to clean this whole mirror to see how I really look. And so you don't care about your clothes and you make a full effort to clean the mirror with the cloth you have. And you clean it and you clean it and you clean it. A lot of dust comes out. You start coughing, but you still go on cleaning it. And at the end, the whole mirror is clean. And then you see that your cloth is got full of dust. But then you see your face in the mirror and you're smiling. You're smiling because you're happy that you've cleaned the mirror. And you can see a beautiful smile in that mirror. You're proud of yourself. And now you come out from that room and you close the door and you read again the line, the room for me. Now you know why this room was there. And even though the house is beautiful, even though everything looks beautiful, you are actually feeling much more happier, not because of that house, but because you just saw yourself finally. And as you come out and you walk out from the house, you're walking with a beautiful smile. You're not looking back at the house, you're still happy and smiling because you have just cleaned up big dust. And I want you all to open your eyes and come back. Come back right in the present. And what we just saw was, as I was speaking, it is spoken by the very famous saint, Saint Sri Chaitanya. who says that Sito Darpana Marjanam. Now, Marjanam means cleans, and Darpanam means mirror. So he says that the heart is like a mirror, it is like a camera, you know. And just as a camera takes all kinds of pictures of days and nights, so also our heart takes pictures and keeps them in an unconscious state. It keeps in its subconscious state, you know. Now, the psychologists agree with this. But the heart takes so many pictures throughout the day, throughout the years, that it becomes covered and covered with so many pictures. It's like the memory goes full. And what happens is we don't know when this has begun. But because there has been so many pictures that our heart has taken, it is covered now. And that is what our real identity is covered. And what is therefore Sitto Darpana Marjanam means one has to really cleanse his or her heart to see the real self. And I say this because if you are covered always in the dust and you don't know where you're going, you just keep walking along and walking along and walking along. But until you really clean that mirror with your own hand, with your own shirt, or with whatever dress, you will not see the really self. And normally we don't speak about the heart so often, but your heart has a lot of memories. Yes, your mind holds a lot of memories. Your subconscious mind holds a lot of memories, but your heart, they say the heart is the size of a fist. But do you know the heart beats, as I said, 100,000 per day? The heartbeats increase when you are with an individual, or when you're happy, or when you are with an pet which you love. Your heartbeats rates, the pulse rate increases. But on a happy note, you feel positive, you feel happier with that person. And the second time your heartbeats rates increases is when you are feared, if you're anxiety, if you're stressed, if you're having some tension. That time also your heartbeats rates are very high. Now, but this is very common happening today in the world because we all are going through so many different dilemmas or challenges of our lives. And so we really need to just stop, sit down, and sit with the mirror in your home. Wherever you have a mirror, sit down and have a conversation with the you. Have a conversation with the you. When I say is that you go really and see yourself and talk to yourself. You know what? The best thing you could do is take a small cloth and sit down with the cloth with the mirror. Even if the mirror is clean, try to first clean it and then sit and have a conversation. Now, I have been doing this and it's really helpful. So I sit down and clean the mirror and then I have a conversation, even if the mirror is clean. And I just say, okay, I feel good. Just like that story, when you cleaned that mirror and you left that home, you were not really now excited how beautiful the home was, but you felt so happy and positive because you cleaned up the dust of the mirror and you saw yourself. And so when you are cleaning up and really going and having a conversation with yourself on at least a weekly basis, you cannot have a daily basis, I agree, but at least once a week, you just need maybe few minutes. I don't ask you to take out 1 hour, not half an hour, maybe just 7 to 10 minutes. Have a conversation with your true self and just ask, how do you feel after that? How does your heart feel after that? As most of us rarely do that, as we don't have time, or even if we have time, we find it very odd to do that. But if you don't do odd things, you will never enjoy the beautiful things in life. You have to do some odd things to really enjoy. You don't get a diamond just by going into a jeweler shop and buying it. The diamond comes from the coal and it has been going on mining and mining, only then a diamond comes out. It's very easy. But even to buy a diamond from a jewelry store, you need to have hard cash or you need money. For that, you have to make an effort. So for everything, you need to make an effort. If you don't make an effort, you won't get the results. I will just show a picture which is again very powerful. Is this? Hold on. Yeah. You see, this is us. We are covered in a layer of dust. And this picture is very powerful because it's one of the most famous pictures which was selected for, it was one of the painting competitions across the world. And this picture won a lot of awards. And why it won awards was just a very simple depiction that it's not the dust which has come from a labor who's worked hard. It's not a dust which has come from, the sands of some desert. This picture depicts that this is the dust of layer which I have been holding on into my life. And he blows it off, and that's how the dust blows off from the hand. And that person feels free. So you see the difference between the hand and the dust, there is a gap. So that's the blow off that person has done. And he feels free, or she feels free. So this picture is very powerful. When you are ready to blow off the dust, you will feel lighter, you will feel free. And freedom doesn't mean that you really need a freedom from, a lot of other things. Freedom means actually when you let go of your beliefs which you have been holding on for a lot of time. Freedom really means that you would really let go of the box which you have created in your life about yourself, about your work, about your family, about your friends, about your relatives, or about any individual. You have created a box, or about any work process, you have created a box. You remove that box and go beyond, because you cannot put anyone in a box. The only time you are in a box is when you have left the body. They frame you in Hindu culture, they frame you and they put a garland around. That's the only time you should remain in a box, either in a coffin or in a frame. Otherwise, we are supposed to be not in a box, not in a frame, not even in our thoughts for anyone or for ourselves. But the first is for myself, and then I worry about the others. And when I say myself, I don't say it with an ego. I say it with a compassion. That the first thing I need to give compassion is to myself, care to myself, love to myself. And I say love is because it's very important to give love to yourself every day. It's very important to have a time out for yourself once a week. Yeah. Now I have to show you another video again, because the more the videos, the more it keeps us entertained. Before I show the video, I want to ask you now a question. Here's time for a question. So again, I want you all to use the chat box. Now, how many of you, or how many of you, okay, who is the most important individual in your life? You don't need to tell that name. You just need to give them, it could be a mother, it could be a father, it could be a spouse, it could be a boss, it could be your child, whoever. Just type it down. Who is the most important individual in your life? Okay, I'm starting to get the answer. Very good. You can send me direct messages if you're comfortable, and don't need to send it to everyone. Mhm. I see some very good answers. I hope they have, you mean it what you say it, yeah? Mhm. Very good. Okay. Anyone more would like to add? Okay. So I see most of you saying myself, me, just me, again myself. And that's actually the true, that who's the most important individual for me is myself. But here's my second question now. When do you feel you're the most happy with yourself? Now that most of you have said me and myself, okay, some have given the answer son or child. My second question is, when do you feel the most happy with yourself? Like for myself, if I have to answer this for myself, I say I feel very happy for myself is when I do a good workout for myself. I feel very happy for me when I dedicate my time for my workout. It can be I might go for a run, I might go for a swim, I might go for a tennis. So I need to know what I want you to give me a practical way of when do you feel you're very happy for yourself. It could be like when I eat a mango, I feel very happy for myself, or when I cook. Okay, when I spend time with me, how do you spend time with you that you feel very happy with yourself? In what way? Good work at office is the right answer. If I'm at peace and calm, how would you feel peace and calm? Well, like what would you be doing that would make you feel peace and calm? So, what is that one act you're doing, physical act or mental act, that is making you feel good with you? Okay, I like that. So, like some creativity I do. Okay, that's good. How about others? Come on. If it is going to be a talk, either I will sleep or you will sleep. That's why I said it's a communication. It's not more of a talk. Good. Some writing. Very good. Yes. I'm happy when I have me time. Okay. What is your me time? What do you do in your me time? That's what I wanted to know, really. My me time is, as I said, either I'm going for a swim. That is my okay. Reading a book. Yeah, that's very beautiful. Good. Others, when I do what I like. Okay. Or who else? Do you all love to eat ice creams? Who loves to eat ice cream? Okay, who doesn't love to eat ice cream? I'm sorry. Anyone who doesn't love to eat ice creams? Hmm. I think everyone loves to eat ice cream, especially now in the summer. If I ask anyone in India, they will say, of course. And even in Dubai, it's very hot. So ice cream is one of the favorite things right nowadays. Now, just imagine I tell you to do, suddenly I'm in charge of your life for 1 minute now. Just for 1 minute, I'm in charge of your life. Just imagine. And I tell you, whatever you're doing, leave it. And here is a beautiful ice cream, a very nice flavor. I will tell you, take this ice cream and whatever flavor you want to imagine, it will become that and have it. The next 5 minutes, this ice cream is and you is just you. You have no other thing to worry about in the world. I want you to just eat that ice cream and eat it in peace, not worried about your child, about your office or your friends or whatever, your house, just you and this ice cream now for the next 5 minutes. Enjoy your favorite flavor of ice cream. So here's an ice cream for all of you, each one of you. Hold it in your hands, visualize the flavor you want, and I want you to eat it now. Yeah, I'm really meaning it. Eat it. Feel like you're eating it. My favorite flavor is caramel and vanilla. So I'm really enjoying eating my ice cream. I'm just loving it. Oh, I forgot I'm doing a session also, but I'm just loving eating the ice cream. Okay, I just finished my ice cream. Are you all finished eating your ice cream? Are you all enjoying it? Yeah, I can see some are feeling amazing. A bit of saliva is coming, but I'm asking you to. You feel good? Yeah, yeah. Now I didn't ask you. I mean, I didn't give you any ice cream. I didn't have any physical ice cream to show it to you. But I just gave you an ice cream and I asked you to trust me for 1 minute to manage you. And I told you to have your flavor. Imagine that flavor comes in front of you and you just ate it and you feel already good, right? You already feel cool. More than the good, I think you feel cooler, right? You feel as if that coldness coming inside you, right? Do you feel it? Yeah. Now, this is the beauty of imagination, the power of visualization, that even though you don't have it, suddenly your mood changes. Why? Well, because I just made you forget from all what you were doing and I brought you right now in the present moment. I just brought you right now here to focus fully on one thing, which was the ice cream. I made you forget about everything else in the life. I told you that forget even if you have a child now. Just now you were only with your ice cream and you all ate it and you loved it. You enjoyed it. You felt good. We just need this sometimes once in a day or twice in a day to do this. Be with yourself, enjoy what your heart does, and just think about it and feel it. Suddenly you will feel amazing. Really. And I mean it. I just did it a practical example without anything. So this is what you have to do. Now, I coming back to my question, and I asked you, who is the most important individual to you? And most of you said, it's me, myself. Of course, you had written also, some people had written child and me. But of course, the first is you, right? When you go onto an aeroplane, also they say first wear your mask, then make sure that your child wears second. They never say make your child wear the mask and then you wear the mask. When if ever the mask comes down, the mask which is in the flight, if ever they say due to emergency, if the mask comes down, please wear your mask first, then make your child wear the mask. Why they say that is because if anything happens, who will take care of the child if anything happens to you? So first they want you to be sure to be okay, because as an adult your oxygen level is much lower than the child's oxygen level. So he will cope up or she will cope up very quickly at least, but you won't. So in life, the first thing you need to take care of is me, myself, not you, me. We always say this, say me. The first person to take care or be amazing with is me. And for that, if I feel to have an ice cream, go have an ice cream. If you feel to have a chocolate, go have a chocolate. Feel to have chips, banana chips, go have banana chips. If you don't want to have anything and don't put on calories, then just visualize it. It will be more healthier. But do what you want to do for yourself, first of all, not for the other person. Don't look to make the other person happy, then you will feel happy. No. The first person you need to make happy is I'm being selfish. Well, you are telling me that I'm being selfish. Yes, I have to be selfish. Because if I am myself not happy and if I don't feel great, how do I expect that people around me to get that right vibe? How do I come back to that first video which we started with? Imagine that out of those three kids, you're one of the kid. The two kids are happy and enjoying and hugging and talking and feeling loved, and you are there crying. Oh, they are doing gaga goo goo gigi and being happy and they're hugging each other and laughing. You're crying. Do you think you will enjoy that moment? No. But only if you are happy, if you feel loved from yourself, and if you're content with yourself, that's when you will go around with the other two of them and also hug very well. So the first thing is be selfish and love yourself and be happy for yourself. Don't look to make the happy, even if it is your child. I mean it. I know it's not easy, but try it. Take care of yourself first. Have that communication of your heart with yourself. So what I was going to say you or show you is that there are only two people you can make happy in this world. Well, we were talking about one individual, right? There are only two people you can make happy in this world, or you can make proud in this world. You know who all is that? It's not your mom. It's not your dad. It's not your child. It's not your boss. It's not your relatives. It is the 8-year-old version of you and the 80-year-old version of you. It's the 8-year-old version of you and the 80 version of you. If you have made them happy, that means you have done everything in your life right. Think about it. If you have made the 8-year-old version and the 80-year-old version happy, that means you have done everything right. Now, you know what is an 80-year-old version of you? The 80-year-old version is the one who is about to get in today's time. The 80-year-old version is the most carefree person, but they are about to get into the age of responsibilities. From the age of 9 and 10 in today's generation, they become much more smarter and mature. So that 8-year-old version who's carefree, laughing, enjoying outdoors without worrying, without thinking what to do. Just imagine that version of you playing around, carefree, not worried about who's going to cook for me, what clothes I have to wear, what I have to do next, where I have to go, just enjoying right now. And just see that happy you. And now I want you to see you at the age of 80. You're not on a wheelchair. You're just perfectly fine. You're walking. You're happy again. You're carefree. You have lived your life. You're not worried anymore to earn money. Not anymore worried about looking smart. You're not worried about impressing anyone in the world. You are just happy that you're fit, you're fine, you enjoy the nature, you enjoy whatever food you eat. You are just living carefree again. Even though you don't have a teeth, maybe, but you're smiling. Even if some teeth are broken, it's okay. Even if you're holding a stick and you're laughing, that's the 80-year-old you. There was an 8-year-old you. If these two people, if you have laughed well between these two people, remember you are really living your life. Because the 8-year-old version, even though he loves his mom, he's not attached to her. Even though he loves his dad, he's not attached to him. Even though he has a small sister or a big sister, he or she is not attached to them. In the same way, an 80-year-old, maybe he or she is a grandparent, they might have the great grandchildren. They love them, but they're not attached to them because they know this is not mine. And the same is an 8-year-old version who's a carefree. So, what does that 80-year-old and 80-year-old version have that we don't have today sometimes? It is the carefreeness. It is the desires and wants which we have today that we have been holding on, that I want this, I want that, my fear of losing things, my fear of losing people, um, my responsibilities, my. But nothing is yours, you know. The Bhagavad Gita says, you came empty hand, you will go empty hand. Nothing is yours. May is just an illusion. May is nothing but Maya. We here in Brahma Kumaris also teach that I, the consciousness of I, is the biggest ego. The I is the biggest consciousness of ego. So if you have a circle and in the center of the circle you write I, you're covering the whole circle because I has two lines up, two lines down, one line in the center. The whole circle is covered up. So the circle of life, if surrounded with I, it's full of ego. And you won't be really enjoying your life. But the moment you remove I from the circle sees full. You can see a complete circle. So the moment you start to remove my desires, my wants, I want this, I like this, I expect this to be like this, I want it this way to go, you are limiting your life and you're not going to be carefree. It's not that you don't aim, don't aspire, don't create goals or don't create vision, ambitions. You do that, but you don't hold on to things. You don't hold on to the journey, to the mile, the your achievements. You don't hold on to people. You don't. You have to let go of everything. If you are achieving something, enjoy the journey. If you are studying and becoming progressing in your career, enjoy the process. If you are going on a travel, don't wait to reach the top of the mountain and only then you will enjoy the whole process of climbing onto the mountain. That small milestones. Enjoy just stopping at the side of the mountain and having a sip of water and having the fresh air. Enjoy that. Enjoy that moment when you are at the airport and you get your boarding pass. Not when you will reach to your favorite destination, just that boarding pass. Enjoy that moment when you get your bag on the what do you call that? Forgot, sorry. The place where you get your bags when you check out. from after you've landed, you get your bags. So enjoy that moment that your bag has come back all right. It's not lost. These are the moments you need to live right now in the present. This is where you're living in the now. You're not living for tomorrow. You're not living for the next moment. You're living in the now. The smallest things which you capture in your mind, in your heart. As I said, your heart is like a camera. The moments which you capture in your heart every day, in the smallest moments, is where your heart will be clean of the dust. Then you don't need to really wipe the mirror always. Because when you start capturing the smallest moments of your life and enjoying these moments, that's when you're really living it. I think you all are very well aware of listening to so many sessions, so many talks, so many classes, but I'm just sharing with you what all I shared was purely my experience, what I believe, what I'm trying, what I'm implementing, what is helping me. And that's what I wanted to share with all of you today. And when I say communicating again with the heart, people say you should have the right art of communication. I say you don't really need an art of communication. When I saw that video of the child, I knew that the only way to communicate with each other or with myself is through a pure intention, through a pure love, through a pure vibe. Communicate with anyone, whoever they are, even if they're a challenging person. Communicate with care and compassion. That's when you're communicating with the heart. And when you're communicating with the heart, you will always have good wishes for everyone, not only for yourself, but for others also. But first, start with me. So make sure I am ready to communicate with myself once a week from now. Make a commitment to myself. I pledge that I'm ready to give myself once a week just 7 to 10 minutes to communicate, not more. Yeah, are you ready? ठीक है? Okay. Yes, I see. Good. So that's it. I mean, that is the best way of communicating with heart. And as I said, it's the small moments. Win the small moments of your life, and just be with enjoying whatever life gives you in the smallest moments. Don't really argue, compete, compare, criticize, complain. That's not the need of the hour. The need of the hour is accept, enjoy, live the moment, love yourself, love everyone, whoever they are, however they are. And today is World Environment Day. And today's, Brahma Kumaris is playing a very big initiative of taking care of the environment as well. So I would like to end today's session with the beautiful meditation towards the environment, because you see, there are three things or three ways you can feel really loved from your heart. One, when you love yourself with kind and compassion. Second, when you are loving and caring towards every individual you connect with compassion, whoever are. The third is your nature. As is your nature, so will be the nature around you. As is your nature, so will be the nature around you. So if you have the nature of protecting your environment, the nature around you will protect you and to give you some beautiful moments in the nature. So what we'll do is we'll go into meditation, but I'm going to be playing a small video. It's not a big video, just 3 minutes. And we will meditate with the earth today. And we will just give love and care and compassion, some very positive vibes to our nature. So I want all of you to just pay attention and just look at the screen. There'll be a nice commentary going on, and just meditate with me towards the earth today. Yeah, can we all stay till the end, please? A humble request. So I'm ready. I hope you're ready. Just give me a minute. And here we go. I will share the screen. Yeah.
In my mind, I go to a place in nature, a place of greenery and peace. In my thoughts, I emerge the wind, and I can hear the leaves of the tree moving in the breeze. The wind whispers secrets in my ear, and I understand. I can feel the sunshine on my face, softly warming my heart and soul. The birds are chirping in the background and singing songs of happiness and joy. I emerge the feeling of belonging to the planet, to nature, to the animals and all living beings. I feel safe in being forever connected to this global family of all living beings, and being connected to the world around me. I will remember this moment if I ever lose hope for our common future of harmony for all.
Okay. So before we end, I would like to ask any Q&A, any questions you all have, anything which we can share with each other. I don't know if you can unmute. Can they unmute, Sister Veena?
Sorry.
So if you want to unmute and share something, or if you want to ask something, I mean, it would be nice to hear you all. Or if you want to use the chat box.
Brother Piyush, Om Shanti, brother.
Hi. Om Shanti, Mr. Rao. How are you?
Happy. Oh, thank you. Fine. I was at Los Angeles. Even though I belong to Telangana, Hyderabad, I was at Los Angeles. Now I will attend every day these programs. I mean, it is not a question. It is only a clarification. You used very beautiful words. You having perfect relationship by by communicating. It is the perfect relationship between anybody. How anybody can interpret it. It is interpretation, in my opinion. Perfect relationship. Whatever I speak, you may like it. Other man will interpret another way. Like that, you use some other words. I and my, I agree. Right art of communication and soul is the nature. Yes. What is the relationship between soul and heart? You're not, I think you've covered or not. I don't know. I'm not able to understand. Can you precisely brief all these things, please? So for I have more clarity, actually.
Okay. Well, see, the first thing is that I thought because you all have been attending different sessions. I mean, we all have some values. Each one of us has beautiful values, and the most common values which all of us have, as we say, as a being a soul or as a being, we all are actually loving, peaceful, kind, compassion, caring, harmonious, peaceful, powerful. So these are our intrinsic values, all of us as beings. But what happens is we forget these values because we try to cover ourselves by so much of layers of, me, myself. So to simplify it, I said the first thing is you have a conversation with you and you remove that I consciousness. As I said, in the circle of life, if you remove the consciousness of I for everything that I want this, I am this, you remove that and you consider yourself with these values that, you say I, but you say I am actually a loving and kind and compassionate being. So when you start saying this to yourself that I am loving, kind, compassionate, peaceful being, and you sit in the front of the mirror and say this to yourself, you become that. And that is when you are building a relationship with yourself that. Now, when you're seeing yourself in the front of the mirror, this, and you're seeing yourself like that, next time when you will communicate with an individual who's with whom you are, or with any colleague or with anyone you meet, you will be radiating that same vibe, because you will not have to then look at that person and say, well, this person is also kind, compassionate, loving. No, it will be like a natural. You are feeling that I am loving, kind, compassionate, peaceful as a being, as a soul. Naturally, your aura and your vibe will be towards that another individual. It will be naturally, you will be seeing them that way. Even if something is wrong, you will not realize that. You will be naturally that way. And that person will feel your vibe. They will feel your aura. So the soul has an aura, the being has an aura, which radiates. You cannot just keep thinking that I am this, I am this, I am this, and then when you go to other person you say he or she is this, he or she is this. That will only make it struggle between you and that. But when you start experiencing it, you to becoming that over a period of practice, every day, if you can sit, every once a week you can sit, as you keep reminding who are you really by sitting in front of you will start to see that when you're sitting in front of a mirror, you will not worry about your hair, you will not worry about your eyes, you will not worry about your dress. You will start to talk to your real self, the being of you, the soul. So that's where the connection of the soul and heart will come in together.
Thank you. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you, brother. Nice clarification. I was so happy.
I just tried my best. Yes, anyone else, please? Well, you don't have to ask a question also. If you don't have a question, it's okay. You just want to share something. Anyone just would like to share what maybe inspire me? No? So thank you so much. But what in the case of opposition? Well, I think it is very common that you will have opposition every day with one individual. Every day you will have an opposition. If you're a housewife, you will have an opposition maybe with your, if there's a worker or a grocery guy, or it might be even your family. If you're at office, you will have an opposition maybe even with the chai wala, or it could be with your boss. It is impossible that you don't have opposition. If you don't have opposition, that means something is not right. That means people don't like you. Only people will come for opposition because they like you. You know that? Because they want to challenge you, because they find you okay. This person is perfect. Let me go and give him some challenge to see how he or she will respond to me. And so you have to be considering yourself fortunate that you have an opposition. So at this moment of time, when you have an opposition, you have to be the same you. You just have to be the same you. And if there is an opposition, one of the best ways you can do is the other person is opposing you, they're speaking on, you remain silent. You remain silent without affecting your mood, without changing it. And then you say, thank you, and you walk off from there. But you come back to them with a very positive answer later when they are calmed down. That, I felt that you were a bit too harsh on me. I didn't feel appreciate that moment, but that is your opinion, and this is who I am. If you know that you have been working on with you once a week, once a day, and you know that you are on the right track and you are doing things which are right, uh, there will be opposition always, but you have to be true to yourself. We have a very big saying in our organization that you cannot please 100% of people. If you please even 95, if you don't please, if you win even the 95% of people, there will be always 5% of criticism. So that's okay. Critics are very important. Opposition is very important. So consider yourself fortunate that you have an opposition. Otherwise, you will be lonely in life. I mean, I'm not saying it as just to make you happy. I really mean it. I mean, you will say यार life बहुत boring हो गई है. I mean, okay, everything is nice, but कुछ मजा नहीं आ रहा है. वो क्या है कि every day you cannot eat khichdi and sambar and dal. You need sometimes some spicy food also, right? Okay, I'm just saying, or you need that ice cream. Let me say, you can't always eat simple diet food. You need that ice cream, right? So I think opposition is like an. I have to use this as of now, ice cream, but yeah. Actually, I hope you're. I don't know. It's a question, but it's just a sharing. Yeah, that's so. I think it's okay. You don't need to be very strong on yourself that if you react, we all react. But as long as you come back to the awareness that I did a mistake, I'll be mindful not to repeat this. Immediately check and stop and change. So it's that you need to check, stop, change. That's the first thing you need to do. Most important is you all, including me, we have to be very strong to our values. You need to write down every day or once a morning, just remind yourself, what are my really values? And hold on to them. Whatever happens, be very firm about what are my values. So if your value is caring, compassionate, whatever it is, just hold on to your values. Now I'll give you a very simple homework, a very nice, easy homework. Is that you draw a small on a piece of paper once a week as you sit down, you write down values, you write down where did this come from and is it true to me? So you make 3 columns, right? What are my values? Where did this come from? And how is it true to me? Hold on, just give me 1 second. I was doing this for myself on a Sunday. It's my weekend, so I will share it with you, my personal ones. So, as you can see here, can you all see this part? Can you all see? Yeah. So if you see, these are my values. Where did they come from? And what is it true to me? Now, what you do is this is your homework. You sit down and you write down what are your values. So your values, caring, loving, kind, wealth, happiness, whatever it is. Second question is, where did it come from? Well, my value of caring came from my mother. Then the third question is it true to me? Yes, it is very true to me to care for people. Wealth. The wealth came from my family, from my ancestors or my grandfather, whatever. Is that value true to me? No, it's not a value. It is just something which I acquired. It's not a value, right? Wealth is just a part of my destiny. But another one is family. Now, family is another value I've taken as. Is it true? How does it come from? Well, it came from again my generation, and there are also traditions in the family. So, is it true to me? Yes, my family is true to me, but somehow I don't like my traditions. They are old traditions because I'm in the new generation. So, values are true to me of my family, but some of the traditions are not true to me. So this is called as a value chart. Now, what I do is I make this value chart once a week. I have these values written down. As and when values come, I write. How did it come to me? I write it came from my family, it came from my friends, it came from some books I read, wherever it came from. I write that. And the third is it true to me to share to others? So I cannot share wealth with others, but I can share my family values to others. I cannot share my traditions because somewhere, if I'm a Hindu background and there's another background culture, I cannot share that, but I can share the values, right? So you do this as a homework. So this also helps. It's called as a value chart. But I think I have gone over time now. Right, Veena?
No, that's fine. I mean, everybody, I guess I enjoyed the session and everybody has enjoyed. And there are so many good, comments on the chat box also. And very nicely explained about the value chat. This is really, it will be really helpful for everyone to communicate with themselves, in a deeper way. And I really, it was really wonderful and engaging interactive session, I can say. Explained it very simply and with very practical examples. And the pointers you gave was communicating with the self, once in a week and with good intention for others also, enjoying every moment of the life and being happy. Very simple things, but it makes a lot of difference, I can tell. Thank you so much, brother, once again for being with us. And thank you everyone for being connected with us regularly for these sessions. It is a great to have you all. We will keep you connecting in this refreshing Sunday evening talks. So we will see you again next Sunday with a new topic and new speaker. Until then, we wish you a great week. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Yeah.